Last night, I got an unexpected message. Someone I work with had said, "Hey John, just wanted to give you a heads up that we have something cooking over here that I'm gonna try and send you under embargo later today. Our biggest story yet." And I thought, ooh, that sounds ominous. Can I get a hint? And they responded, something about cats. Cats? Later, they messaged me again, "Hey John, here it is. We have de-anonymized Team PCP." And I was just doom scrolling on my couch, just like, what? So I'm responding, holy that's a huge intel drop. And the last thing they say to me is, thanks. If you want to cover it, you can recreate the whole investigation. So that's what we're doing today, everybody. We are going to OSINT investigate the leader of one of the most notorious hacker groups in 2026. Unmasking Team PCP, King of Software Supply Chains. A walkthrough of the process of de-anonymization by Flare's Emerging Threats team. Yeah, alright, that's Flare. Look, this video is not technically sponsored, but Flare is an incredible channel partner, and my goodness gracious, they have such a cool story to tell here. I'm just so ecstatic that they are in the industry doing incredible things, so let's dive in. For 5 days in March 2026, a single stolen token let one group poison 5 software ecosystems, including a package downloaded 95 million times a month. The attack started with a misconfigured GitHub Actions workflow and ended with backdoored code sitting inside CI/CD pipelines around the world. Oh, here's where it gets good. Now, the person behind this attack has been arrested. The group this actor was in, Team PCP, is a crew that started in late 2025 running opportunistic cloud exploits, and then pivoted in early 2026 to attacking the software supply chain itself. For folks who don't know, Team PCP, who has an online profile picture of this cat, has hacked Tanstack, the GitHub internal breach, Trivy, Light LLM, Checkmarks, Telnix, so many different Python packages in the Python package ecosystem, NPM. They did the Shai-Hulud attack. You know the one about Dune? Anyway, Flare's Emerging Threats team wanted to share examples of some of the techniques that can be used to unmask the operator behind Team PCP. So we'll use the Flare platform to trace a single alias across the accounts, credentials, and infrastructure that connected back to a real identity. There were other individual investigations on this topic, including one by Brian Krebs, a very well-known cybersecurity reporter. So we will walk through who Team PCP is and share the process of de-anonymizing threat actors. Now, I had a recent YouTube video covering Team PCP and some of their antics, and we talked about some of their maintained Telegram channels, how they have this Twitter, or X, I'm just still gonna call it Twitter, all these online personas, and how they would taunt victims and even gave a press interview. They were always kind of braggadocio, pretty chest thumpy, like throwing the flag in the ground, oh, I hacked that kind of thing. High school drama stuff that I always poo-poo. But it was that same appetite for credit that amplified their campaigns and produced the reused handles, avatars, and infrastructure references that essentially got him doxxed. So for background context, let me add a little bit more of Team PCP history. At the end of last year in 2025, when they were just an opportunistic cloud exploitation crew, they would have an automated scanner sweep the entire internet for exposed APIs. Things like Docker APIs, Kubernetes control planes that were just left wide open, Ray dashboards, Redis instances, anything that they could spray and pray, cast a wide net, and then get an implant, compromise, and own. They would then take that compromised infrastructure and basically turn it into a botnet. They'd deploy containers on each infected host, and that would then become another scanner and proxy node, and self-propagate further infection. Now, you know I'm a fanboy. Flare's always doing super cool stuff. Their honeypots recorded this activity firsthand, and they fingerprinted 185 Docker compromises in just one campaign. With most cybercriminals, money is the motivator, and revenue came from 3 sources. There was XMR rig, just crypto miners, and they'd rent their proxy server to bring in more cash. They would leak or sell stolen data for extortion money, and then they brought the React to Shell campaign against Next.js applications. Apparently, their own control server dashboard had almost 60,000 servers compromised in under 48 hours. Now, as much more of us know, in 2026, Team PCP shifted to target the software supply chain. They would go after tools and packages and libraries and things that other applications would depend on and things that companies trust. In February, Team PCP exploited a misconfigured GitHub Actions workflow in Aqua Security's Trivy, which is one of the world's most widely deployed open source vulnerability scanners, and they stole a service account token. Aqua Security rotated credentials, but they missed some, and Team PCP, the hackers, still had access. So later on in March, they published a malicious Trivy release across every distribution channel all at once. That poisoned thousands of CI/CD pipelines with credential-stealing malware. And being a supply chain threat, that thing trickled down like dominoes. The AI proxy library Light LLM ran that poisoned Trivy inside their own build pipeline, so the attackers then harvested their PyPy publishing token so they could release 2 backdoored Light LLM releases. Now, Light LLM, that software package, brings in about roughly 95 million downloads a month. So from just one token, the threat actors hacked 5 entire software ecosystems across 5 days. But now let's get into the OSINT, Team PCP aliases. The group operates behind a web of names, which was important to the investigation, and they'll get further into it. The core identity is Team PCP, but its work shows up under the name PCP Cat. That was part of the first name campaign. Shellforce is its leak publication persona, and DeadCatX3 is a GitHub account hosting tooling, as well as Percy_PCP and PCPSH, which were earlier Telegram handles. The group is loud by choice. They're active in Telegram channels, they post on X under PCP Cats, now deleted, and they taunt everybody. They're jokesters, they're a jester, they're ha-ha-hee-hee hackers, and now they're arrested. They had an interview with Forbes, and TPCP themselves said, oh, the group is a loose-knit group of teenagers and young adults who couldn't find paying work, so they turned to cybercrime. Now, Flare's threat flow solution found that Team PCP used these usernames. One of the most curious was DeadCatX3. That became the anchor for the whole investigation. So Flare said they put the name DeadCatX3 into osint.industries, and we can do the very same. I'm online here, we'll toggle this to the username, and I want to look up DeadCatX3, we'll agree to the terms, and search. All right, scanning through a couple of these, looks like it is finding a good many hits, and okay, the search has fully completed now, and we have a relationship graph and a lot of their online accounts. Instagram, HackerOne, we'll dive into that. I don't know about the one at the bottom there. Ooh, a nice little Minecraft character. Okay, sorry. Reddit, Scratch, Roblox, nice, Telegram, oh, Hugging Face, and HackerOne. Oh, no, don't scroll further down. Interesting, the name here is Ruben Thompson. Let me view account here. Yep, DeadCatX3 and Ruben Thompson. I do want to see the Hugging Face one too. RT. Maybe initials for Ruben Thompson? And look at this, massscan.cloud. What is that? Ooh, Flare says this domain, massscan.cloud, was used as the C2 or command and control during the mini Shai-Hulud worm infection in May. Look here, they have a write-up, and I think they cover it down below. Oh, look. There's the Telegram Percy_PCP alias and the other channel here. Where was the massscan.cloud? Oh man, here's the React scanner, some of their Docker configs, XMR rig, the crypto miner. Where is the C2? Kube control, come on! Oh, I'm scrolling for a while, guys. Oh, okay, this is when they were in their Telegram channel. Holy cow. Oh, there's a GitHub. Yeah, Dead Cat is pretty apt naming right now, huh? Look at it, it's right there in GitHub too. And okay, massscan.cloud, right in there. Jeez, okay, so Ruben Thompson? It can't be that easy though, right? We gotta dig in a bit more, find some more concrete evidence, right? But now we have a name, or potential name. So let's bring that right back in to OSINT Industries. And what can we track down for that? All right, that scan is thinking Australia, Ruben Thompson. I'm curious if we can get into their emails, but usernames, surfingup8b4f0. Okay. Well, I'm not seeing a ton of emails or things to like kind of pivot off of. What if we honed in on Australia? Like, is it dumb to just simply search for Ruben Thompson, Australia? There's a LinkedIn page. Oh, doesn't exist. Look, take that for what you will, all right? Now, I'm speedrunning just a little bit because I know the investigation did lead to that surfingup8 username, and it turns out it's tied to a Gmail address. Just super simple, surfingup8@gmail.com. Now, a wildly interesting thing you can do is kind of take a lot of the same threats that threat actors throw at us and kind of wonder, ooh, is there any insight on them? And what I mean by that is taking a look at InfoStealer malware logs. Were any of the hackers ever hacked themselves? In all of the data breaches and leaks across the history of the internet, could we track down that Gmail address and maybe find even passwords to pivot off of? So what we'll do is use the Flare credential browser. Ooh, they have a nice new interface. Let me take a second to dig into the platform, and this is really cool. Oh, sorry, don't show my passwords or people with my name that have been caught in a breach. And this is really cool because we're actually being able to utilize this for a real cybercrime investigation. This is the awesome power of Flare. Let me search for surfingup8@gmail.com. And passwords. This could help us prove some definitive use of online accounts, but now we're wondering, okay, what other accounts are tied to this email? Now, the Flare research team could take some of these leaked passwords and take some of these email addresses and keep hunting. And they found a TikTok account that's associated with the username YOLOSolo17. Now, I happen to be on this TikTok account's page, and it has only one video of what looks like a Steam account. YOLO Crown Z, and a lot of, trading things here with, scammers? I don't know. But this is weird, right? I mean, I guess there's a ban. You can see there's one VAC ban account on record. Is this Steam account somehow affiliated with Team PCP? The profile picture is a cat, but I don't know if it counts. So this is a weird finding, right? And I don't know how much more there is to go off of a TikTok video of a Steam account. But if we're getting scrappy and creative, I mean, could we be looking for other Steam friends or folks they play games with? You could use the context of Australia and some of the other information that's bubbled up in the investigation, and Flare did it. And I want to pull up the picture here because it's kind of wild. Train Simulator Classic, a little bit of VR chat in Perth, Australia. And down below, we have Ellis. I can't really quite make out that profile picture, but if you look up their Steam account, they have a BAC ban on the exact same day that this TikTok account, YOLOSolo17 Ruben Thompson, posts this video of a Steam account March 7th, 2017. Here is the Steam account. A little bit of a higher quality picture for the profile picture for you to see. A lot of time in VR chat. But here is the VAC list or VAC list entry. One VAC ban on record, September 13th, 2016. Now, that's not March 7th, 2017, but look closely here. What is that, 175 days since that ban? Timeline kind of lines up. And this profile picture is actually kind of unique. We could hone in on that. Even if we did a super simple little Google reverse image search, there's nothing really else there other than that stuff. Okay, we don't need to record this part. So at this point, we have an interesting new breadcrumb and puzzle piece. That profile picture, right? It feels unique, but we couldn't find anywhere else to run with it based off of just a Google image reverse search. But we've been building this mind map of the investigation, and we know all these different aliases and identities that Team PCP uses. So what if we went back to the drawing board and kept taking a look at some of those other Telegram handles? So no tricks up my sleeve here. What I want to do is hop over to the Events tab on Flare and search for, I'm going to unselect everything and just focus in on chats or Telegram chats. And I want to search for just the username, right? pcp.sh. Can we find any occurrences of chatter communication with that account across the history of their Telegram? And we have a couple hits from Maya the Fox, and they say, just run this little exe and boom. What is that exe? I don't think I have to tell you. It is the same Steam profile picture. That is some pretty high confidence. That's the guy. That's the cat. Team PCP ringleader, literally the Telegram account that they've been chit-chatting, chirping with cybercrime on, is the exact same as the Steam profile picture, tied to the accounts, all bringing us back to the name Ruben Thompson. I know we ran a little all over the map. I know this is a bit of an abbreviated showcase just to explain the whole investigation in the snapshot of a YouTube video. Obviously, there were so many more, rabbit holes and things to dig into, but do you see the line? This all chains together, and I think it's no longer circumstantial evidence to high confidence. HackerOne account has their real name, Ruben Thompson. That deadcat X3 handle is how you track down the HackerOne account and the Hugging Face domain, which has their C2 domain from the mini Shai Hulud attack. That, of course, proves their cybercrime shenanigans. They're bragging about it, chest thumping over on Telegram. But the same real name leads to a TikTok account where he has personally and voluntarily uploaded a video of a Steam account that got banned on the day that all has these puzzle pieces fall into place to find the exact same profile picture pointing definitely, I'm thinking that's the Team PCP leader. Ruben Thompson, based out of Perth, Australia, operating behind the identity DeadCatX3. That single alias led to a verifiable person's identity, and that was confirmed by law enforcement's arrest. Holy smokes, everybody. I don't know if you have the same reaction that I do, but I just think that's a wild ride. Team PCP that made headlines for the entire year, and that story unraveled. That identity unraveled. And the whole thing, Team PCP was all about, the hee-hee-ha-has, the cats and the jokes, calling cards and logs. Oh, PCP was here. That cyber criminal wanted an audience, and they got one. The Team PCP hacks and exploits and escapades were some of the most consequential supply chain incidents throughout the whole year. But that same person who wanted all this attention and spotlight for the memes, for the lols, or the kitty cat profile picture, turns out there was another unique kitty cat profile picture that they left on a Steam profile for a decade, just waiting for someone to find it, and law enforcement confirmed the investigation in their identity, and it led to their arrest. Damn, everybody. Look, Flare is a channel partner, and I think they are just super cool. They have incredible threat intelligence. They do just so many cool things, and it's just so... It makes me feel so good to have the partners in the industry that do real work, that move the needle, that actually make such a cool difference in the security industry and raise up the whole security posture of everyone to take down hackers and cyber criminals. Man, it's just so cool. I stayed up really late to try to get this video out the door because I know this was an under embargo story, but huge congrats, guys. What a win for the industry. Thanks to you. Please do give Flare some love with the link below in the video description. You know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe. What an awesome story to tell.